Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while. I've basically been hibernating because in New England, it's been rough, man. We had a lot of snow. But even though I'm hibernating, the stock market isn't. So year to date, the S&P 500 is choppy, 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 going up and down. And there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the stock market. So I want to share what I did with my portfolio and how am I managing this, and most importantly, how's my portfolio handling it. But the reason for the choppiness, as we know, geopolitically, there's war going on, there's a lot of uncertainty, and crude oil, this is the chart recently, it has spiked. So, transportation costs, jet fuel, all that stuff is going up. But how's my portfolio doing? So this is my YouTube portfolio, and year to date, in other words, my Roth IRA. It's been holding on for dear life. Barely green. Some days it goes in the red. And these are my holdings. So if you've been following my channel, you knew NVIDIA was my biggest holding, but it's not there any longer. So that was one of the moves I did, was sell NVIDIA. And it's not because I'm bearish on NVIDIA. Matter of fact, I'm super bullish on NVIDIA. And I'll explain why. They recently had earnings, and they did phenomenal. This is in a quarter. Let's talk about this. $68 billion in revenue, with a that's 73% year over year. Gross margin of 75%. So for every dollar, they get to keep 75 cents of it, which is amazing for a company this size. It's amazing for any company. Matter of fact, this is probably the best earnings the stock market has ever seen. So it's a little bit controversial why I'm selling. So let's keep talking about this. Net income. So in the quarter, they made $43 billion in revenue. This is after they paid the bills and all that good stuff. So, and the good news is, so this is a record breaking revenue. It's expected to grow. So with a company like this, you would think the stock price is going insane. You got revenue that's record breaking, the stock market never seen before. But why isn't the stock going up? Why isn't it just going through the roof? And that is because the stock market is future looking. So a lot of this spending is happening from companies like Alphabet, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. They're spending around $700 billion in AI build out in 2026 alone. A company like Amazon is expected to spend around $200 billion this year, Amazon alone. So all these companies combined are about to spend $700 billion, and all that money mostly is going to NVIDIA, because NVIDIA owns the brain of AI pretty much. It's the GPUs. So most of that money is guaranteed going to NVIDIA. So we have money going up, all that good stuff. Why am I selling NVIDIA? I remember I was saying the market is future looking. It's looking past this year, and it's starting to realize companies like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon, they can't keep spending this every single year. This might be the biggest year that they spend, and after that, they're going to have to stop. As you can see here, Alphabet, which is Google, they had to tap the debt market and get $25 billion in debt, pretty much, which quadrupled their debt. And you're starting to see this. What these companies are doing, just think about it, that you're buying acres, you're buying land. They finally now are going to be able to buy that land, and they're going to start building the houses, which is software. They're going to start utilizing this. So if you believe in this AI build out, you have to believe into software, because software is the reason why NVIDIA is making a lot of money, is the usage that these companies can do with the GPUs. And one sector that is being hit very, very hard, that I'm capitalizing on, because I think this is going to be the moneymaker in the future, because we talked about the chip making companies like NVIDIA making all that money. Well, now they spend, the company like Amazon, $200 billion. You don't think they're going to want to make a profit off of that? They at least want to make $400 billion. So if you look at this sector, it's been punished recently. And this is year to date. This is the tech software sector, down 16% year to date. And if you want to ask what's inside that sector, this is it. This is the majority of it. You're talking about Microsoft being 9% of it, Palantir, company like Salesforce, Palo Alto, all that. These companies are getting demolished. But in reality, I think the next run is leaving the chip makers like NVIDIA, and is going to start going into the software companies. And these software companies can't keep spending. So the second they stop spending, that $200 billion Amazon was going to be investing on building out AI infrastructure, now that becomes part of the revenue, part of the profit. And immediately just they turn on that switch and they start going up. So that's what I think. I think the rotation is next going to be into software. So I'm capitalizing that heavily. The next stock I actually sold is Tesla. Long story short is the valuation. I understand the mission, the vision, etc. But this company is trading at a 371 PE. And if you look at the earnings, they're not really that impressive. It's actually going down. Annually down. So look at the net income, $3.79 billion. It's going down from $7 billion a year ago. So it's not really impressive, especially for a company this size. So Tesla is a $1.25 trillion market cap. So at this point, I'm not really impressed with Tesla. And I think with the SpaceX IPO, a lot of that hype is going to be leaving Tesla. It's going to be mostly Tesla shareholders that are going to be going into SpaceX IPO. And I also think that's going to be overvalued. So I believe in the mission, understand all that. But to me, 100% return on Tesla, that was a good move. And now what I did with the money is I started buying these companies that are being hammered. Companies like Microsoft, companies like Amazon, Salesforce, and Meta. So these are the companies I'm currently buying right now. And I think they're at very, very attractive prices. So let's see here. Comparable to Tesla, for instance, Microsoft and Tesla, same market cap. So remember how much Tesla was making in revenue? $3.79 billion. This is how much Meta is making, $60 billion in revenue. So that's why I had to kind of let Tesla go. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm investing heavily into software names because I think software is going to be the next big thing. And I hope that helps. I'm curious about your comments. So if you have any suggestions, if you want to put, hey, about me selling Tesla or NVIDIA, go ahead. I like to hear the other side because this is how I learn.